Hey, good day, good day, good day, good day. Hey, thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. Hey, just in case you're joining me for the very first time, I'm your host, the one they call Brian Glaze Gibbs. And today I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna sit down and have a live conversation with my dad. This is my dad. This is my biological dad. This is the man that brought me into this world way back when. You know, do we look alike? You know, to me right now is, guess what? You know, a lot of times what people do not understand is we can choose our friend, but we can't choose our family. So with no delay, I'm going to introduce Samuel Clark, my dad. What's up, Dad?
Everything's okay there. So how's it going too?
How's it going? Everything going good, man. Happy Father's Day, man.
Hey, thank you.
You know, even right now, I'm just sitting back thinking about it. Do you remember any time that we ever spent Father's Day together?
Not that I can recall.
That you can recall. Look at that, folks. Here it is right now is, to me, as a grown man, this is the first time I can actually say that I was able to spend Father's Day with my father. And people, what you got to understand is this. Guess what? It's no booklet. It's no pamphlet of how to be a good father. But the difference is, you know what? I know who my dad is. A lot of times, you know, my moms, my aunties, family members used to say, you just like your dad. You know, DNA is a monster. DNA is strong. So when you got DNA is in you, guess what's going to happen? Right now, that trait is there. And if you look at it, look at these nose. Do we got the same nose? Do we got the same smile? Huh? Like I told you right now. So to me, what I'm doing is I'm taking the time out to share an intimate conversation with my dad. You know, what type of kid was I when I was coming up?
Well, it was just like the normal kid.
A normal kid?
Like a normal kid do. Hey, I would say quite a few mischievous things.
Quite a few.
Just like the ordinary people do.
Okay, all right, okay. But when did you notice the change in me?
Well, actually, I noticed a change in you in the last, I would say the last couple of years. I really would say.
I'm talking about as a kid, you know, before I got into the street. Before I got into the street, when do you notice, when do you see, like right now, what age did you see I was going left, that I was going down that wrong road?
Well, I'll be frank, I really wasn't there to really see exactly when you got in this stage to really, age of going out in the street, like on your own.
Okay, so even with that, so as time went on, you know, I went away. Right. I went away for the first time at 17 years old. Right. So you knew I went to jail. Yes, so right. What was your thought? What was you thinking back then? Like, damn, my son's 17 years old, going away doing time.
Well, what I thought, thinking back in that time, really thinking, I think sometimes certain things happen to people for a reason. Some people change, some people don't.
Okay.
If they want to travel that road, they will continue. It's hard to turn them around. But when they go far enough, they will turn around.
Okay.
On their own.
So even though I went away when I was 17, I came home just before, like, you know, a few days before my 21st birthday. And even when I came home, what you thought after I did 3.5 years and the first time you saw me after that time? Do you felt that I changed, or do you felt that I learned my lesson?
Well, I kind of thought that, but see, sometimes you have to be there to see what's going on and how you carry yourself.
Okay. Now, 18 months later, after I was released, you know, I caught a murder charge. And I caught the murder charge, and I went in. When you heard about that, what you thought about that your son catching a murder charge?
Oh, I tell you, I really was hurt. I really was, believe me. And what I saw in the paper, I'll tell you, really, I did cry. And I said, I was saying, I hope it wasn't you.
Okay.
They used the words I said, I just pray it's not you.
All right. And even with that, I want to get a lawyer, Murray Cutler. And you know what? The anniversary is coming up. The anniversary is going to be Tuesday. You know, June 22nd, 1987. I was acquitted for the murder charge. And once again, I got the opportunity to be released. So even right now, here it is, 23 years old, get released from being incarcerated 13 months, 17 days, fighting a trial for murder charges. So when I got out that time at 23, did you thought or you felt that was it, that I had changed, I wasn't going back?
Well, in a sense, yes. I thought that you really had changed and there won't be no going back.
So you thought automatically that last time, because you was in court. You was in court when the verdict came back, and they say not guilty.
Right.
So when the verdict came back, you know, you was in court, you know, with my moms, and even then, like when they came back, the juror came back, and Judge Agito asked the jury to stand. You know, asked them to, you know, the people said he asked me and the lawyer and the district attorney and them to stand and to read the verdict. So he said, the jury, I raised the verdict. They said, yes. What is your verdict? And even right now, I remember when they say not guilty. And I'm talking about only that I can remember is that cry out of my mother's mouth. You know, oh Lord, I can hear that cry. Thank you, Jesus. I can hear that cry. You know, and I'm talking about how many years later? I'm talking about I can still hear that cry. That cry of joy, that cry like, you know, my son was found not guilty, despite I was guilty. And to me, you're right. You figure that I would have got out and I would have stopped that madness. I would stop that nonsense. But then again, it just got worse. When I got out, you know, here it is. I started being recruited by, you know, Lorenzo Fat Cat Nichols, one of the biggest drug dealer from the East Coast at the time. Okay, his underling, Howard Pappy Mason. We had all developed relationship when I was incarcerated, fighting that murder for that 13 months and 17 days. Then I had another figure that, you know, I was a free agent. I'm out. I'm free. I had Baby Sam, Samuel Edmondson, another gangster that had a hell of an organization. All of them coming to me, wanting me to be down with them. And the difference is I had a choice. I just got my life. I just got my freedom back when I shouldn't have. But yet and still, you know, you think I would change? Or what happened? I became worse. You know, even with my aunt, Helen, may her soul rest in peace. What did you felt when she came to you? Or, you know, I remember a conversation that was had. Like she came to you and say, do you know what your sons are doing together? It was me and Mark. We was together. And she was saying we was together doing what? Do you remember that conversation?
No, not really.
Okay. She said, do you know your sons? You know, your sons are together. And they go around killing people. You don't remember that conversation?
No,
yeah, because I got pissed off about that. I'm like, well, come on now. Because what happened was, you know, I guess you had a conversation with Mark's mother. That's how it got back to us. And I know Helen, you know, don't get me wrong, that's my aunt. But the difference is right now is like, you know, I'm not going to even say what I'm going to say. I'm not going to say our witness news team. But you give her 22 minutes, she'll give you the word, man. But she'll give you the world, man. So rest in peace. But you know what? And you sit back and you think about it. Only thing she was doing is trying to, like, hopefully that you can talk to us. Letting us know that you're going down that wrong road. Letting us know, listen, man, do you know what you're getting yourself into? Do you know what's about to happen?
Yeah. But like I say, as the time really, if I was seeing you every day or whatever it is, sometimes was times in between we didn't see each other, and you don't know what's going down like that. So that's the way it is.
You know what? Like I say right now is this. Like at one point in time, when I went away, because that's where me and Country met. Me and Country met on Rikers Island.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Period. No, despite I used to come around Notion Avenue, Pacific, where you used to be at, and, not knowing his mom lived there at the time, and we used to always just miss each other. And I can remember right now was the first time I ever saw Country. The first time I saw him, we was on Rikers Island. And right now is when I seen him, I'm saying to myself, it's something about him. It's something about him, but I couldn't put my finger on it. It's like I knew him, but I didn't know him. And like it was just something that was so powerful. Like I knew this kid, but I didn't know him. And you know what? That went on for a few years as me and him both was in and out of Rikers Island, being mischievous kid, doing devious things, going back in and out of Rikers Island. And like I told you, like every time I saw this guy, it's like I knew him, but I didn't know him.
Right.
And then finally, when I caught that when I was going upstate, when I was 17, going on 18, when I was going upstate, I was in jail. He was in jail. And finally, a young man from Notion Avenue, he came into the mess hall and he said, well, you got your brother's here. I said, no. My brother just went upstate. He got sentenced. He went upstate. He said, nah, you got a brother here. I said, my brother? He said, yeah. He said, Sam's son. I'm like, oh, snap. Right then and there, automatically, I knew who it was. Out of hundreds and hundreds adolescent that was on Rikers Island at the time, I knew that Mark Gons, a.k.a. Country, was my brother. I knew that was your son. That was that feeling, that sense that I had, that I knew him, but I didn't know him. But at that moment, I knew who he was. And it's strange, but I knew, damn, that's my brother. I knew who he was. And just so happened, we in the mess hall. And when he came in, probably less than 5 minutes, his group came in from the other side of the mess hall. And I did some stupid stuff because I didn't care. I left the side I was on, walked all the way around. You know what I'm saying? That back then, Rikers Island, they used to beat you down. Yeah. But, by then, I didn't even care, man. Like, I had that little reputation then. And so they didn't beat me down. They didn't touch me. So I went all the way around, and I approached him. And I asked him, what's your father's name? And he looked at me. Didn't say a word. Country, big, stocky guy with the high top kid and play fade. He just hugged me. And like I said right now, we knew. We knew then. Genes, DNA, we knew. And like you said, we both went away as kids. We both did time. We both came home. And like I told you right now, is opposed us getting better. Like I told you, Country, good guy. I love him to death. And like I say, smart dude, loyal. Despite he was older than me, but right now is I had him and a bunch of other people following me all because of the wrong reason. And I regret that because I got, saying like he got time taken out of his life for what? Because we want to be down, we want to be cool. And that's the difference. So even right now, as we talk and having this conversation, I'm sitting here right now, look what, we smoking cigars. I don't even smoke cigar. You don't even smoke cigar. Like you said, you ain't had nothing to smoke in 50 years, which is a blessing. But God is able to bless us to sit down, you know what I'm saying, right now as men and build on our relationship. Even, like you said, you was in court when I got sentenced. Right after like 1992, after I got caught up into the drugs, the CCE, 21 USC, CCE 848, continued criminal enterprise, right now, murders, all that. But I can remember everybody being in court in 1992, shortly after my mother had passed. And the judge sentenced me. And the judge asked me, do I have anything that I want to say? And what I remember is, like, I remember that whole time. It was like, weeks after my mother died. And they brought me down, and I was in MCC. I was in segregation, lockdown. I was going crazy, man. Like, I feel like I was closed in. And they had me on medication, because I lost it. I was very emotional, still, moaning the loss of my mother. And when the judge asked me, do I have anything to say? And I told the judge, Judge Edward Corman, I told him, I said, I can't blame Lorenzo Fat Cat Nichols, Howard Pappy Mason. I can't blame anybody for what I did. Because what I did it because that's what I want to do. And right now, it took the death of my beloved mother to help me to understand and make me understand the pain and the suffering that I inflicted upon the victim and the victim family. And with that type of pain, I wouldn't want my worst enemy to feel. And you know what? Like, that wasn't rehearsed. That was just me express myself. When you out there as a young knucklehead kid and you in love with the wrong thing, guess what? It's a price to pay. It's a price to pay. Like you say, you read the newspaper. And when you read the newspaper, you cry. My name in the newspaper talking about, I'm this killer. I remember a story my mother told me. She said she was going to work. And when she was going to work, and she reading the newspaper on the A train, going to work, and she read it. And my name came up. And she remembered getting to her job. And her colleagues, her co-workers at AT&T, the New York telephone company, they what they was telling her? They say, Dorothy, this boy in the newspaper got the same last name as you. And her response was, who knows? He probably my son. Not knowing that, guess what? I'm her son. And you know what? That hurt. Because once again, like one of the last things she told me before she passed away, that me and you need to have a better relationship. And you know what? That's what we did. It took time, but when I got out, what did we do? It took more time, but what we did, we came a long way. Because regardless of what, you my dad. Even when we have our little conversation, our heart to heart, or we wasn't able to see each other because of what? The coronavirus. So I got vaccination, you got vaccination, but we here today. And the difference is on this Father Day, 2021, I want to tell you, you know what? If I did anything to hurt you or cause you pain or didn't listen to you as a man, I'm saying, I apologize to you as a son. I'm sorry. I love you. You're my father. Like I said right now, and I appreciate you.
Well, it's the same as here. Well, okay, I say as your father, I'm just sorry that I couldn't be there with you to help guide you along or lead you along. Sometimes the thing can't be helped. Maybe they could have been helped, but that's the way it was.
You know what? That was then, this is now. Yeah. And sometimes you have to go through trial and tribulation. Like I said, I remember doing my first bid. And what I had to learn, like, doing that 3.5 years, it's like I had a true hatred towards you. I had animosity because I'm saying to myself, man, that you wasn't there. But then again, when you got time, I spent a long time in a hole. And a lot of times when you isolated, you read, you think, and you have a lot of time to think. And then what I had to sit back and think about it is this. When we young, as men, you know what we love? You know what we love? Women. And right now is, from my understanding, was that a weakness for you? A woman a weakness for you?
Well, in a sense, yeah. In a sense, no.
Okay. But the difference is you was young and you like to have a good time.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So is it safe to say Papa was a rolling stone? Wherever he lay, his hat was his home, huh?
Well, sometimes you feel that way, but it doesn't have to be that way.
No, it didn't have to be. But the difference right now, people don't understand is this. Even right now, when guys and girls out there having fun at a young age, and then when you wind up sticking, your wee into her, and right now is, guess what? Just to have fun. But the more and more girls you stick your wee into, how many kids can anybody take care of?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Period. Being young, and that's why I try to tell people, be careful what you do. Be careful who you get involved with. Because even though you're having fun, what's the outcome? You having a temporary pleasure, making a baby. The next, it's responsibility. 9 months later, it's responsibility. And my thing was, what I learned back then is, and that's why I had to get a better understanding. Like, how can, you only can take care of how many kids? How can we take care of kids and we can't take care of ourselves?
That's
You know what I'm saying? It takes time. And I had to learn that. And I learned that being in prison, that's what made that frustration, animosity, because I had to put myself in your shoes. And that's the difference. So the difference is when we came around, all we needed stuff, and you was able to provide, you provide. But the difference is right now is when you got several kids. How many kids you got, Dad? Okay, that you know of.
Well, actually, really, we're living actually four.
Huh?
Actually, four we're living.
4? 4 living? How many passed away?
2.
2 passed away. How many you probably had that, like I said right now, is, maybe, like, good possibility that, that could be your kids.
Possibility 3.
Okay. So that's 9 total. Hey, folks, listen. And young folks, especially guys, girls, when you're out there and before you do anything, do critical thinking.
Yeah, look too fast. 6. 6, not 9.
No. We're talking about 4 now alive, 2 that right now pass away, which is 6. And then you say a possible 3.
That's a possible 3.
Yeah, possible 3. Yeah. So 4, 2, and 3. Right now, I know we didn't go to school together, but 4, 3 is 7. Yeah. 4 and 2 is 6. Right. And 3 more possible. I said possible 9. Yeah. Like if we playing spade, right. Like how many you got in your hand? Yeah. Possible. So not saying it's a possible. And you know what? Like I said right now, even right now, when I was in the street, I used to have girls coming to me all the time about, kids. And right now, some was true, some wasn't. I got 2 that I know of, and I'm proud. And what I tried to be the best father I can possibly be. I'm trying to get my stuff together and build my relationship with them because I wasn't a good father. How can I be a good father to my son for the first 9 years of his life? I was in jail. How can I be a good father to my daughter when you go through divorce and you hear and they did? The people don't understand. The difference is, so what I try to do is now learn from my mistake. In order for me to have a good relationship and foundation with them, I got to reestablish in that foundation, that bond with you. You have to break, like broken relationship and rebuild. That's the difference. And like even now on this Father Day, I'm blessed to be sitting here with you, Father Day 2021. That's a blessing. And not only that, like the message is, how do we get these kids to understand? Be mindful and be careful. Before you, have sex, have protected sex. But if you're gonna have sex and before you put your thing in her, keep it in your pants. But unless you know you're going to be a good father, a good mother, and you listen to some of these kids, they talking slick. Oh, well, she's a bum chick or he's a bum dude. Yeah. But why are you having sex with that person if you already got their mindset? So now you just got that person pregnant, or you just got pregnant by this individual that you label as no good. Now you got to deal with that person for the next 18 to 21 years or the rest of your life. So the objective is right now is they have to be cautious. And not only that, get your life together. Don't get caught up into that street stuff. You know what? Did you ever get in trouble with the Lord, Dad?
Well, one time.
One time? Yeah, do you want to talk about it? You don't want to talk about it?
One time. Well, actually, really, it really started out from, like sometimes you get hooked up with the wrong peoples, and they look mixed up themselves, and you don't know who they are dealing with, and you come find out down the line that. Later down the line, after they was hooked up with these people before you got involved.
Okay.
And but then I got got really hooked up with them afterward, and it was going on, until this with this you know, with this guy that the guy what do you know what I shot?
Huh?
The guy what I shot.
The guy that you shot?
Yeah, what I shot, but it actually was forced on me.
It was forcing you because once again, from my understanding, didn't he shot you first?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He went all the way to New York get a gun.
He went all the way. Okay.
Crossed the bridge and come back and sit in front of my house.
Okay.
And wait.
He waited. Okay.
Wait, because I was on the other side of the street talking with my friend. Because his wife had called to the house. I went to the house because I had to go to work that night.
Okay.
But then when she called and tell me, said, "Look, Sam, you better leave because he's coming back." So he got a gun, and I know he had that 357 Magnum.
Okay.
So I went to my friend's house. We were there talking. So I said, "Well, I got to go." I said, "I got to go home because I got to go to work now."
Okay.
That's what I was telling Ike's friend.
Okay.
And she said, no. So you just saying that. And I said, yeah, he do work tonight. I was working at the bakery down here.
Okay.
So I finally came out, across the street. I got ready to step in the doorway. Had a guy, he came out from behind the car and said, "Hey, let's get this shit over." I said, "Nothing to get over. What are you talking about?" "Let's get this over." I said, "Well, man, let's go up there and talk about it." "There's nothing to go up there and talk about it." And they kept on telling you, it pissed me off. I said, "Fuck it." And I stepped towards the door. All I heard, he said, "Booloo."
With the booloo. With that booloo.
He shot.
He shot you?
He shot.
Okay.
I just whirled around.
Okay.
I whirled around and shot him.
And you shot him? Okay.
One time.
One time?
I shot him one time, but I think about three bullets was fired out of the gun.
Fired out of the gun. Okay, you hit him once. How many times did he hit you?
Well, I think he emptied his gun. I think
He emptied his gun?
He emptied that gun in about. I got 3 marks on me.
3 marks? So you got 3 shot 3 times. Okay.
3 marks on me.
All right. And you sit back and you think about that or whatever, you know what I'm saying, period. But your situation is different, you know, because New York, they arrested you and they tried to take you, they took you to court.
Yeah,
they was going to prosecute you.
Yeah, I went to court.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, I faced the grand jury.
You went to the grand jury?
22. I won the grand jury 100%.
When you won it?
100%.
Mm-hmm.
22 went for me.
So basically right now you have to actually go in front of the grand jury and get on the stand.
Get on the stand.
And tell them what happened.
Yeah, had set up there in that little small stand up there, and he was throwing down on me, man.
Okay.
And when he asked me, "Why did you shoot this man?" I stood there and posed for man. And I said, if you was boxed in case, something that like where I'm in now, sitting down now, and a man throw that on you, what would you do? And even the jurors laughed. They all laughed.
Okay.
He said, I'm not on trial. I asked you.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. They cut me loose.
They cut you loose? But even right now, where it's like, from my understanding, when you was on the when you was testifying on your behalf at the grand jury, and you know what? See, people don't understand that. Based upon me being a criminal, you know, our lawyer tell us don't get on the stand, don't go on the grand jury or whatever. Don't do that because you give them more, you know, you give them more evidence. But the difference is, like I say, from my understanding, as you was sitting in the jury on the stand, testifying on your behalf at the grand jury, and from my understanding, you know, did some of your wounds start actually opening up and you start bleeding while you was on the stand?
Yes, it did.
Mm-hmm. So the jury was able to see that.
He saw it. Cause I had on a blue shirt. Blue shirt. You know the kind of shirt what you wear. What he had, but I had on a blue shirt, and the blood started. When I started to move around, you see this blood spot, and you could hear them. The people out there.
The jury, Okay.
Yeah, so.
And see right now, and that's what people don't understand is this, okay, cool. It's not that you was looking for a problem, it's that a problem came to you, and when that problem came to you, you had to defend yourself.
You had to. You had no other choice. I didn't want to.
Yeah, I know. And you know what I sit back and think about that or whatever, is this. Like, even when I heard about that, you know, I was incarcerated at the time. And even when I heard about that, I said, you know what? See, with the people, especially, you know, Brooklyn District Attorney Office, it's like right now where it's like, I always say to myself, I'm glad that they didn't know that you was my dad. Because once again, even though it was self-defense, but the difference is, like that DA would have probably utilized.
Yeah, they'll do that.
Yeah, that DA would have utilized, well, hold up, wait a minute. His son is a cold-blooded killer. He's in jail now. So the difference is right now, this is his dad. So what they're going to try to say, that apple do not fall too far from the tree. And that's the difference. But like you say, look at the situation. This is not something that you asked for. You asked the man, let's go upstairs and talk.
Yeah.
But he didn't want to do that. And see, that's the difference. And that's what people don't understand. Sometimes, you know, everybody's not criminal. Everybody, you know, like I said, you a law-abiding citizen. That's the first incident you ever had in your whole life with the law enforcement agency, besides probably traffic ticket.
Yeah, it's a traffic.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm talking about, that's murder. But the difference is you was able to go in there, you know, and, you know, get on the stand and tell them step by step, this man pull out and shot you first with a 357 3 times.
Yeah.
And see, you blessed. Because once again, you could have been gone. We wouldn't even be having this conversation now.
Right.
But the difference is when everybody understand, like I got shot at plenty of time. And you know what? Anytime somebody pull out on me or shoot and I'm not ready, I'm running. I'm going to get the heck out of there. I'm going to run for cover.
I couldn't go nowhere.
No, you couldn't go nowhere. You was forced into that situation.
I was boxed in, locked in, and didn't even have my keys and didn't know it.
Didn't even have your keys, huh?
Didn't even have the key to get in when I went to the door.
Yeah.
I didn't even have the keys to get in.
Hey, but like I say, folks, listen. On this Father Day, 2021, I'm Brian Glaze Gibbs. This is my ministry. I got my father, Samuel, right here. And like I say, it's a beautiful thing that we able to sit down and reflect back upon that word we call L-I-F-E, life. Life is beautiful. Life is what you make it. The difference is, like I told you right now, between the age of 14 to 24, I was a lost individual. I was in love with the wrong thing. I was in love with the street. Not that I didn't have people in my life that loved me. My mother loved me to death. Anytime I got in trouble, my step-pop, my pops. But the difference is, how can people help you if you don't let them know that you need help? How can people support you if you don't go to them? You know, because once you reach a certain age, you think you've grown. You think you've grown. But you got outlet. You got your parents. You got your grandparent. You got your godparent. You got different people that's out there that's willing to help you. But sometimes what you have to do is raise your hand. Raise your hand. I need help. I got a problem. You know, I got different things that I'm thinking about doing, but I don't want to do. Get the help that you need. You know, that's what we have to do. Do not put your emotion away when it's not necessary. Do not put your pride away when it's not necessary. Temper is what gets us into trouble. Pride is what keeps us there. Listen, folks, I'm going to wrap this up. You know, Dad, you got anything else you want to say?
No. That's what you keep on doing what you're doing. And I'm glad you learned from your experience that you had out there. Mm-hmm. You paid for it.
Yeah.
Let's keep it up.
And that's it. And the difference is right now, how many chances I had, man? I was in and out, in and out, in and out. You know, I used to be addicted to jail. Jail was once a revolving door. Spent 15 years in that hellholes. And the difference is right now is, guess what? Do it cause some type of psychological effect? Yeah. But the difference is, I want people to understand, when people are in there, people do change. People do change. Like I said, I was once the problem. Now I'm seeking to be part of the solution and letting these kids know crime doesn't pay. There's no shortcut in life. Only thing come fast is trouble. Easy to get into, hard to get out. Listen, folks, get your signed copy of the Beyond Lucky book, Brian Glaze Gibbs story. This is my dad copy. Email me at Brian, B-R-I-A-N, Gibbs, G-I-B-B-S, 1201 at yahoo.com. Get your signed copy today. Also, right now, follow me. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Like I told you right now, I'm not out here trying to brag or boost. I am ashamed of what I did. Like I told you, I'm ashamed. Right now, I was brought up in the church. I knew right from wrong. But the difference is right now, that street, that fast money. I was intoxicated about that fast money. I want to be down. I want to be cool. And you know what? I wasted many years out of my life, many years away from my family that I cannot get back. Because of my stupidity, when my mother died, I couldn't go to the funeral. Despite I was in position to pay for everything, it didn't matter. Right now, I had to pay another way. And you know what? I had to pay with my life. I had to pay with my time. And my objective at this present time is right now building and mending the relationship with my dad, with my kids, with my family member, with my friends. And at this present time, I want to apologize to all the victim and the victim family, all the pain that I personally inflicted upon them. You know, I wish I could turn back the hands of time. And the difference right now is, listen, this is me. You know what I'm saying? I am not that same person. I couldn't stand Brian Glaze Gibbs as a kid, but I love who I am today. Once again, this is my ministry. This is my story. I'm gonna talk about the good. I'm gonna talk about the bad. I'm gonna talk about the ugly. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be truthful. Thank you for joining me. Happy Father's Day 2021 to all the fathers out there. You want to tell everybody Happy Father's Day, Dad?
Yeah, happy Father's Day to everybody.
Peace, love, and prosperity. One love.